I swear. I don't even want to shoot this right now, but I do at the same time. I shot a segment earlier, just because I want somebody to care. How fucking pathetic. I tried to find something to distract my mind from overthinking about things. But when I think about things, I always come to the same conclusion. The conclusion of maybe I am the problem. And maybe it's not a fixable problem. Because I know it's not. Because supposedly if I'm suffering from depression, and it just, it's just my mental state that's causing me to be depressed, then if I get on antidepressants, then that's gonna, it's gonna fix it all. But like I said in the video yesterday, my depression did not stem out of nowhere. Depression, and especially depression, I can't speak for other mental illnesses, but that's just like, for instance, the movie Sybil, which shows, what's her name playing the part. Anyways, I forgot her name. She's a good actress, but she portrayed the character and the different multiple personalities. And they said, oh, the reason you have these multiple personalities is because you had to do that to defend yourself, to help yourself, to survive your trauma. And it's like, that's me with my depression. My depression, I wasn't, even though I feel like sometimes I was born with it, but it's because the abuse started practically from, well, shit, it did. From day one. I was born and my dad jetted, like left the fucking hospital. And I've been told about it several times. Because the ultrasound was done by somebody that had just, I don't know, they didn't pay attention, they didn't give a shit, they didn't care. And my mom was lucky enough to find a woman that also had an ultrasound done the wrong way. And so, since they had a bunch of boy clothes and stuff, and she had a bunch of girl clothes, and she actually had a son, and they actually had a daughter, they were able to swap clothes. But me being born a girl just devastated my dad. And then it made him resent me and hate me, and then my mom, probably looking at me and seeing that I looked like him more than I do her, probably even further diluted her already narcissistic tendencies or behavior. Because my sister, which is older, looks like my mom. And she was the little princess, the firstborn. And then I was born, but I was supposed to be a boy. I was supposed to create that perfect family dynamic for them. And my Uncle Mike, he'd even had a daughter, and then he ended up having 2 sons. So my dad, that's his brother, would have thought, yeah, I had 1 daughter and I'm going to have sons now. And instead he had a 2nd daughter. And so my mom, seeing the way my dad reacted, probably pushed her even farther into her narcissistic behavior and helped to label me as the scapegoat child. But it's like, I try to move on past it. I try to let it go. And all I need is a distraction. That's the best way to word it. And I don't even want to word it like that because it makes it sound like it's something that can be replaced very easily. But it can't, because my distraction is a new life, is reality, is living in the now. And even though I do have pets, one of my dogs is missing, and that is depressing me very bad. And one of my cats has to stay in a cage because he has an eye infection and a respiratory infection that he's going to have to live with for the rest of his life. Or not an eye infection, but it caused an eye infection. He actually lost sight in one eye. And he can pass it to my cat, because this is my mom's cat that I took in. And I want to play with him, the one that's in the cage, and be affectionate with him and be loving towards him. But I can't do that and then turn around and pet my other cat, because it'll pass from him to the other one and then he'll get sick. And my cat that we originally had, the only cat we had, he's 10 years old. And I don't want to risk his health. And I've tried to rehome the other cat, but nobody wants him because he's sick. And he's almost blind. And that's the thing, too, about the dog that's missing, is I actually was trying to find a home for him because he's more lively than my other dogs. And I couldn't find a home for him. I couldn't find nobody that wanted him. And then I didn't really want to get rid of him because my kid has not been home because my parents took her from me. And my daughter was, I guess, my distraction from the past creeping in. And then I fell in love with a girl from work. And I fell hard. And I've not been in love with anybody in a really long time. And then she won't even talk to me. And so that's drudging up all the shit from my past relationships. Because I have nothing to go off of. She's not giving me anything to look at to think on, to focus on, other than she's not talking to me. And there's been plenty of people not talking to me in my life. And so it just pushes me backwards. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And then she won't talk to me. So I was like, I can be strong enough to pull my ass together. I got this. Because I've never been allowed to be vulnerable anyways. So what's the big deal if I can't be vulnerable? Again, it's not that big of a deal, right? I don't deserve to be weak. I have to be strong. So I was like, I got this. So I'm going to work and I'm paying my bills. I'm keeping a roof over my head and my pets. My new GM at the store does not like me. This is technically the only job that I can have that's going to allow me to pay my bills. I don't have a vehicle. I didn't have a license until a few days ago. I got this. Fuck relationships. Fuck people. Fuck everything. If I don't get my kid back, it's okay. Because she turns 13 on her next birthday, and supposedly 13's the age that you can pick where you want to live. And if she don't want to live with me, fine. I can handle that. But she'll eventually start talking to me again. And she'll eventually want to come see her pets. Her pets that have cried. Her dog that she raised, that I had to sleep in the bed with because I was afraid she was grieving herself to death. So for like a week and a half, I had to let that dog sleep with me because she got to where she wouldn't eat. And she would barely move. And I even placed her in the bed 2 nights because she wouldn't get up out of the floor. And I got the dog past it. And I got myself past it. And I go to work. And I'm gonna get myself past the GM not liking me. I'm gonna get past it. And this girl that I'm in love with, who refuses to talk to me, who I've now shut out, who granted I called the day before her old number and nothing. She didn't call back. She didn't text. go into work, and here she comes with her dad. At the time that I'm clocking in. Why would you do that to me? Why, every time I've ever tried to pick myself up, I always get slammed. And then the manager I was with that night asks if I want to go home because she had shown up. I've already gotten in trouble for being home or not showing up to work on time, and told I was fixing to get fired for it. So no, I don't go home because I don't want to be fired. And I stay and I gather myself and I work. And the new GM comes in 2 hours before my shift is over. And she pulls me aside and tells me I'm not doing my job correctly. That she wants me to do more than I am already doing. And she tells me that the person that I've been working with for the past month and a half has told her that it is my fault that we are not getting a certain task taken care of. I continued to work for a few more days. But when asked again to help a younger crew member with their job, and I have made it clear that I do not want to help this crew member because nobody helped me to learn the same job and I had to figure it out by myself. I'm asked 3 times, or told, go help her. My response, I don't want to. Please go help her. I don't want to. She needs your help. Go help her. I hopped up and I helped her because I was sitting down because I had pulled out various pieces of equipment, I guess you'd say, and cleaned in behind it, and my back was hurting. So I get up and I go and help her. And then I quit. And now I'm at home. I'm lost. I'm alone. I have a little bit of money, enough to make it for a while, to hopefully figure it out. But when you're trying to hurry and figure it out because you know that money's gonna run out, and all you keep being shown is the past. And in the past, it's the same thing it is right now. The lack of people's concern for you, the lack of them willing to talk to you. And it's not even them willing to talk to you from experience wise, but it's their willingness to be honest with you. Everybody has to live off of hearsay. Everybody has told me from their experience that they think the girl that I've fallen in love with is just a player, and she's just playing me, and she's using me, and she's keeping me on the back burner because she has someone else, and she's waiting to make sure it's going to work out with them, because if it doesn't, then she'll come to me. But I don't want to listen to their answers. Not because my mind cannot comprehend it. And not because, yes, that is the most hurtful. Or so I would believe. Answer that could exist as to why this girl has treated me the way she has. But literally the reason that I won't just take their answer and run with it is because A, I didn't want to, B, I hated to, C, I did, and then she showed up. She showed up. But the reason I won't move on from it is because I have to talk to her. Because I believe in giving everyone the opportunity for their truth. But I'm tired of it killing me. Because I give people my truth every day. And it never means